Hello everyone. Ooh. Still 2 people left to join. Gonna quickly see who they are. Still one missing driver in the Roy, I think. Gotta quickly invite him. Getting ready to go on their way. Wait, the Roy's here. Wait, we're missing Corey. I am confusion. So Blomchum's got to move to the Renault. And I have no... Wait, wait, are we the correct number? I'm just miscounting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... No, 15. Okay, my bad. I thought we were 16. And I think Blomchum moved to the Renault. And we're good to go. Hopefully. Alright, so we're in France for round 9. And yeah, round 9 out of 13. 15 drivers for today. 16 maybe if Marcoris joins in the other Ferrari, but I don't think he's available. And we are underway for Q1 here in France. So 15 drivers, nobody will be getting eliminated. Shit, I missed out on Velo. We were meant to be 16. Wait, no, he's left and... Wait, what happened here? I don't think Velo can... Okay, all good. There was a bit of a panic with CRG Velo. I thought he wasn't going to be able to qualify, but we're good. 15 drivers, all in. So, as always, we've got reserves. So, Blomchum is reserving for Martins in the Renault. We have Mr. BT 2004 reserving for drunk shots, well, I mean half shot ferry in the Mercedes, and CRG Velo, I'm just clocking, also seems to be in the Mercedes, and he was meant to be in the Williams in replacement for Jamie Robertson, whose wheels should be coming back from the factory this week, so it'll be nice to have him racing with us, hopefully, fingers crossed, next week. Faxland can't race with us anymore till F1 2021, unfortunately, so we now have a free Haas slot, and Jesus, that car bounced. And yeah, that's all the summary for Q1 and the race here today. Bit of predictions. I don't think we're gonna have rain, luckily, because France in the rain, at least for me, is quite annoying, to say the least. Merv Martin's first driver out, and yeah, we have predictions. JT Gelato, Head Bumpier, Merv Martin, they'll probably be fighting it out for top 3. CRG Velo's shown potential, and yeah, I'll be curious to, as I just clocked he, okay, and yeah. Thanks, Merv. Andre was the first one out. My bad. And yeah. Yeah, Velo showed some potential, and yeah, I'm curious to see as well what the other drivers can pull off. I know Sonev and KCTB will be trying out some slipstream stuff, if they'll even be able to pull it off, because currently one's an outlap and the other one's still in the garage. But they like to do their cheeky little slipstream with each other. What about the Roy? He was fast. Well, you know, Deroy actually, if I quickly look at the standings, you're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're in 7th, to be fair, and not that far off the Exasinho. So you could be in for a cheeky top 5, especially in France. You could see a couple incidents, a safety car, a lot of time penalties for sure. So we could see some changes in the standings after the race. See, now I know Andre is on his hot lap, currently coming down the straight, longest Euro zone in France. Probably going to be one of the most places where we'll be seeing overtakes here today. And yeah, not a lot of drivers comfortable driving around France. Not a lot of drivers feel fast driving around France. So yeah, it's going to be, hopefully it won't be a boring race. I personally enjoy France, but I know I'm in a minority on that one. As Andre is now coming through sector 3. And he's going to be the first guy to set lap up unless he invalidates, which he almost did a couple of times, but so far he's kept it clean. And yeah, Andre, a bit of an unfortunate season so far as he's about to cross the line. He's been, I feel like, not performing maybe up to his best. That's a 128.7. Going to be interesting to see where that puts him. And I'll be expecting a lot of invalidations. In fact, as I can see from Sonev on his hot laps, currently invalidated. And yeah, I feel like a lot of invalidations inbound. Tan 12-12, CRG Velo, as Max currently in first, 128.3. But this is only Q1. We only have 15 drivers, so no one will be getting eliminated at least. All you gotta do is set a lap. No need for it to be super quick, so probably the two Alpha Tauris won't really be bothering with slipstream this time around. Merv Martin now on an out lap, about to start his lap. Got speaking about the correct Alfa Romeo this time around. And yeah, I think a safety car will change things up a lot, and time penalties especially. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see someone get DQ'd off a time penalty. Tsunoda in the Ferrari, 128.6. Finally we've got Ferrari drivers, as you know, we've seen last race, finally get some Ferrari drivers in, and even from the Racing Point. But yeah, nice to slowly be filling up the grid again, because boy, finding drivers can be a bit of pain. And commentators as well. Unfortunately, as you can see, no tier 2 stream, because unfortunately our tier 2 commentator was not able, as Murph Martin validates his lap time in Q1. And no need to be going quick and invalidating in Q1. I mean, I guess it's just practice really. The Exercinio 129.1, you know, that's a perfectly fine lap. But so far, 3/10 of Max is on Tenexa. And be interesting to see. I think we'll see lap times in the 127s, maybe not in Q1. De Roy on the mediums, 130.0. I wonder if he made a mistake along the way, or if the mediums are actually just that much slower. Blomchum 129.3. Unfortunately, I think he's going to be somewhere near the bottom of the race today. Oh, the Exercinio into the wall. I was about to say 129.1, although perfectly fine for Q1 here today. Not far from the fastest of lap times. Oh, there we go. And now KSTB crosses the line, 129.7. Ooh, about half a second off Blomchum. Good to see KSTB then. Somewhere near the back. He'll be hoping to at least finish the race today. He has not finished the race in a while. Pretty sure he's got the most DNFs in all of TRL. A statistic he'll be happy about, I'm sure. Sonev, mistake along the way. Probably a 2 with a 151.0. But hey, good enough for Q1. Murph Martin now is going for another run. Head Pompier 10, 12, 12, Busman Pickle, also in the pit. CRG Velo, I'm curious to see what he can pull off for us here today. Crosses the line, currently goes in first. Breaks into the 127s already with the 127.9. Sorry, yeah, 127.9. And I do need to tell him to stop cutting the corners, because that is illegal. And while it's not an excuse that he does not know, because he should have read the rules, he really does not seem to know. JT Jot with a bit of a lockup. Pad player, in fact, he did invalidate it as well with that lockup. And Mr. BT 2004 about to cross the line. He's come through the final hairpin, opens up DRS. And where's this lap going to place him? Up into second. 128.2 at 10th head of Max. And still though, only one driver into the 127s. We still got Het, Tan and JT and Bosman all still needing to do laps. Obviously JT and Het in contention for the title. Tan's actually still in contention for the title, just barely though, I think. And Bosman Pickle, a bit of an unfortunate season. He was having a lot of pace in pre-season, but then the races started coming about. He was getting very unlucky, and yeah, I'm having Bacardi regardless of JT. Well, I hope you enjoy the mic. I could use a drink myself. I haven't had one this weekend, and I was really looking forward to having a drink, but unfortunately I ended up not. Well, actually I had half a beer, but what's half a beer? Anyway, back to more important things. JT Gelato going for his second run around here in France in Q1. Most of the drivers at set lap times making their way back to the pits. Sonev with 129.5, normally a faster driver than that, struggling for pace here around France, and I don't think he's going again, because if he were though, that it'd be well, disappointed at that. Invalid lap. Andre's coming out again, as Murph Martin is now entering the pits. The two Alfa Romeos find themselves in 5th and 6th. Het Pompier now, Het Pompier JT. All eyes on these two guys to see who can maybe topple the other. Obviously, Het Pompier won last race, and JT Gelato's won, I think, every race apart from 2 races, or maybe 3 this season. Het Pompier will be looking to put another dent into his phenomenal race record this season. He's finished first and second in every race apart from one race where he finished 5th. So yeah, blistering pace from JT Gelato. Murph Martin, a bit of a dark horse or an underdog, you would say. You know, we'd constantly see him in this 5th position. Yet he is 3rd in the standings, 2nd being Faxon, but no longer racing with us for now in this season. So yeah, Murph Martin in a good position as well for the title, but obviously They'll be hoping JT does not pull off a banger, and with that, 129.9 from JT Gelato. Very far off the pace, probably taking it nice and easy, maybe doing a bit of sandbagging. And yeah, if that is though his true pace, then top drivers are in for a treat of points. They would be very much hoping time penalties, incidents don't come in their way, because they'll be needing the points to catch up to JT Gelato, and the 13 starting in 13th for JT Gelato is exactly what they would want. Tan 12 and 9th on 29.2, and Bosman Pickle, last guy left to set a lap out on the track on his hot lap, still valid so far, as he's about to come through this fast right, and then it's quite hard to judge when you're going to brake, what line you're going to take. You can take quite a lot of lines, apply the gas at very different places as you come through this very long twisty corner. And then again, the sector 2 of France in general is a bit of an iffy. It's a bit of an iffy sector. I've seen validates it actually. Bro, JT's got a 126.7 in time trials. Man's playing with our feelings. Well, yeah, fair. 26. What was Tan's? Not Tan's. Het Bumpier's time trial. Quickly trying to find if he said what his time trial was. CRG Velo's time trial was at 127.0, so not too far off. And I'm pretty sure Bumpier said that he went a bit faster than that, so hopefully, you know, maybe JT won't get another pole position, because he's been on pole like basically almost every race. Or actually, he might be on pole every single race. It's a bit mad, I'm not gonna lie. The pace on the man is absolutely insane. But anyway, Bosman Pickle now going for another run, coming through sector 2. He'll be looking not invalidated on the same corner, and I'm speaking about him basically in the exact same place I spoke about him on the last lap. It's pretty insane. Yeah, now Sanev coming out again. He's done, oh sorry, I just entered the pits, but he's done 3 laps and has not been able to improve on that 129.5. Tan improved to a 128.8, and a lot of drivers not really going out and doing more again. I see Max improved to 128.2, currently in 4th. And I didn't even clock it. Bumpier, 127.8, a 10th out of CRG Velo. And yeah, be curious to see how Q2 and Q3 will go down. 4 minutes left in Q1. Murph's only fast in F2 cars. You know, Bosman Pickle moves up to 12, 129.6. I should maybe commentate or view an F2 race one day, and probably would be quite interesting. Also, TRL, we're setting up slowly a MotoGP, GT Sport League as well. 2 new leagues, hopefully. And yeah, exciting times for TRL. JT Gelato, 5 laps, only a 129.9. I'm guessing he's just doing multiple laps on these softs. Probably got a lot of fuel in, so we definitely will be seeing faster pace from him in later qualifying sessions. Apart from that, most of the drivers in the pits, Murph Martin out for some other practice, but I say that isn't valid. Looking for probably one more lap around. And as for the rest of the drivers, Tan 12 currently probably on an in lap, and on 3 laps so far. Blumchum trying to do another lap, finds himself in 10th. And yeah, going for another lap. Now I think he might just, yeah, he's going for another lap. I was thinking he might just be sticking this as an extra out lap, but no, I think he's going for a bit of extra practice, a bit of extra time. Obviously, the most important now that everyone's set the lap is to not crash. And DeRoy in the pits, 130.0 in the mediums. I'm guessing the mediums are what? Maybe, ooh, a second might be a lot, but I would not be surprised if they're a second lower. We'll put DeRoy at 29.0 in that case, around 9th with Dick Sasinio in that pace. Probably still got more pace in him than that though. And I think also we're dry all throughout, which is pretty nice. Drivers don't need that or have any hassle of rain. Max has done 4 laps, 128.2. I swear he's improved again. Right behind Mr. BT, 128.2 as well. And now driver is slowly retiring. Andre's improved to 128.7, or Merv's improved to 128.7. I forgot who was in front of who. And as for the rest of the pack, at least down the bottom, not really much has changed. JT is still enjoying some practice on soft, probably seeing as well, you know, how far, how like kind of I can't speak, how much tire he's gonna get. With an estimate. Hypernova, nice to see you back in here. It's been a while, and yeah, not pushing on the mediums, really no need to. And yeah, well, the timing, the delta should tell you, and of how much slower the mediums are compared to the softs. Hypert actually raced with us back in season 1. As I see JT again crossing the line, doing some more practice, less than a minute left in the session. Most guys in the pits. Sanev looking for more practice for sure, although he's not pushing on this lap. He's probably gonna, he won't manage to get another lap in, but hey, he can have another, he can just be doing a chill lap, some practice, because 11th place will not be what Sanev is looking for. And currently KCDB looking the slowest, Possum Pickle not looking too hot either, as we're about to progress to Q2. And as always, that's where things really start to get interesting, because people will be getting eliminated by a fraction of times. So yeah, only 2 drivers into the 127s, Headbump CRG Velo. Basically everyone done from the laps. Merv Martin with an invalid lap so far, probably going for some last bit of practice round here. And Sanev as well, invalidated. But I think he was going to go for, he tried to go for another go around I think, but timing line was, he did not reach the timing line in time to be going around another time. JT Gelotov put in 8 laps on the softs once he finishes this lap. Getting plenty of practice in. Maybe feeling the threat of Head Bumpier. As key crossing line should be the end of Q1. Yet it's not. I think the game's just waiting maybe for Sanev to... No, according to the game, Sanev reached the timing line in time to do another lap. He definitely did not, but... Sure thing, game. And he's... Oh, that should have been... That was almost an invalidation. Sanev really pushing the track to the limits. Trying to learn and see where he can gain and improve. Because with that 129.5, not going too fast. Literally over a second slower than the top half. And it is invalid, and he's spun around. And Sanev not having the best of times. That will be ending Q1 once he makes his way to the pits. Oh, there will be rain. Wait, when will there be rain? I thought. Oh, Tan said when. So 10 to 15 minutes there will be rain. So we might see rain then around the end of Q2 and probably in Q3, and that will shake things up for sure. Obviously, it depends on how fast drivers are in the rain. Me and rain and France really don't go well together. Fast right in I think sector 3, we just don't go well. But yeah, luckily I'm not the one driving today. I'm just commentating. No, according there should be rain. According to Tan, he said there's going to be rain in 10 to 15 minutes, which would be around the end of Q2, or maybe midway through Q2 and Q3. Merv 1 lap wonder. 28.7 finds himself in 6th. Say that though, 1 lap wonder, over a second off the lap time almost of Head Bumpier. Be looking to go faster in Q2 obviously. Q2, Q3 is when it all really matters, as no one gets eliminated in Q1 and nobody's retired or by crashing out, so. That marks the end of Q1. Murph for Poe, hey Sir Buff, nice to have you here in the comments. And in fact we can see the clouds starting to form in the distance. Question is, how quickly will the rain kick in? Another question is, will drivers risk going onto the mediums knowing that rain will be coming in, might come in at some point during the session, so maybe they won't have time to set lap time on softs then because the softs won't be fast enough anymore. So maybe it would just be worth it to just go out on softs and, you know, hope for the best and not try with the mediums. Although starting on mediums in France is probably quite beneficial. So I'm going to be curious to see the choices people make. Max going to be the first driver out. He's chosen the soft tire compound. Right. Followed by two Renaults, who both take the softs. The two AlphaTauris, this is where they're going to be playing their slipstream game. Sanev taking mediums, not a smart call in my opinion. Not even including the whole chance of rain thing. He was pretty slow in Q1 on softs, as alone on mediums. So yeah, not the smartest of call I feel from the AlphaTauris. So next up, to follow next, also taking the softs, Mr. BT was a fast driver in Q1 on mediums. Going to be interesting to see how far mediums will take him up on the grid. Tanto of 12 trying out on the mediums. It looked more cloudy from the pits. Out on track, less clouds than I thought there were, so drivers will probably be fine to go out on mediums, come in and go out on softs. But if they are unlucky, they will find themselves with a few drops of rain, which will probably slow down their laps. Just have to wait and see, really. So, with Max 33 JV 2005, he had a pretty good qualifying session last race in Britain. Very unfortunate race though. Ended up DNFing. He'll be hoping for a good amount of points here in France, and for a second I was worried for him that his invalidation would have affected this lap, but all clear from that much as he's coming through sector 1, and then right and left. Bit tricky how much power you want to put down, obviously, because then you need to brake really early, and then, you know, slide on the power, make your way through to open up TRS and get yourself all nice and sorted then. And as I'm seeing guys in tier 2 saying watch out for turn 1, yeah, drivers should be watching out for turn 1 here in France. Definitely easy to break off some front wing on the start, as Max almost invalidates his lap time, but so far so good. And now taking it as wide as he can, carry as much momentum and as much speed as he can through that right, flat out. And this is the corner where you can take so many different lines, you can brake so many different places, gas so many different places. But he takes it quite cleanly, I must say. Maybe it drifts a bit too far out wide for that corner, but he's going through. And he pretty hard to invalidate in the final two corners. And in fact, it is clean. And unless he spins out, he's going to be setting a pretty nice lap, I feel. Opens up DRS. Maybe into the 127s. No, 128.0, just barely off the 127s. I'm seeing a few more takers on the mediums. Murph Martin on the mediums. DeRoy opting for the softs, 128.8. So the mediums were over a second slower. Sanev 129.4 on mediums. And that is not a lap time that will be getting him through to Q3. And obviously top 10 go through to Q3, and Sonev actually went faster than Mr. BT, who set the 129.7 on mediums. Quite surprised with that. Tan 12-12, now 2/10 ahead of Sonev, puts himself in third. 129.2 drops Sonev to fourth. More medium takers than I expected. JT Gelato on mediums. Now this is going to be interesting. How fast can he really go? Obviously had loads of fuel in Q1, so was not going that fast, and probably not pushing too much either. Clouds starting to form now. Rain clouds. The drivers got to be careful. They don't want to be caught out without doing a lap on softs, which should have a higher chance of getting them through to Q3 because of the rain. In the meantime, Merv Martin set to 131.8, very slow lap time from Merv, mistake along the way, and he'll be wanting to go faster than that. Het Bumpier also on mediums, 128.9. CRG Velo, another taker on mediums, 128.8. Very fast lap times from the lads, and assuming around 1 second gain, then damn boys, these guys got some pretty good lap times. Once, you know, they do lap times on softs, you could see a very tight Q3, and even Q2 is probably going to be pretty tight near the back. In the meantime, Bosman Pickle set a 128.1, almost 128.2. JT Gelato on mediums, 128.7, who matches his teammate Diego Cesinio with a 128.7, except he did it on softs, and JT Gelato's done it on mediums, which is also on the 10 faster than the next person on mediums, CRG Velo, which means JT Gelato is seemingly like the fastest driver on track. Never mind, CRG Velo comes through with 128.6 on those mediums. Andrea also on the mediums, 129.2, 3/1000ths of a second ahead of Tan, but he drops back a place as Merv Martin comes through with another lap on the mediums, 129.0. Well, these lap times will not be cutting it. Het Bumpier, Merv Martin, Andre, Tan, Sonev, Mr. BT will all be needing to do lap times on softs, probably, as they probably will not be safe. And hell, even probably JT Gelato and CRG Velo might need to do lap times on softs because they probably won't be safe either. In the meantime, only 3 drivers still left to set laps. KCTB it's next up both on hot laps, Blomcham on an out lap. KCTB will be at risk of elimination while clocking. He's invalidated his hot lap. Not going to be too pleased with that. He was probably seemingly invalidated his lap around halfway through the circuit, slightly over halfway, and he does enter the pits. Not enough fuel for another go around. He will not be enjoying that. So next, so far has kept it clean, kept it very valid, and in fact not cutting any curb at all, where he's got, which is some time to gain if you cut the curb through there. And Blomcham about to be starting his lap now, and they'll be eagerly waiting for more drivers to be taking on the softs. Mr. BT on an out lap, Sonev still going around on mediums, and he spins round. And I'm curious to see, is there a few drops of rain? I don't think there's rain just yet, but rain is about to kick in, that's for sure, as we're even seeing almost a dry line starting to form already. But yeah, drivers really need to get out on the softs, because they will not be having a lot of time for those soft tires. I think, yeah, it was Senexa, sorry. Senexa went up into 5th, 28.7, just 3/1000ths of a second ahead of JT Gelato, who set his lap time on mediums. Merv Martin now into the pits, or coming out, I'm not really sure which one it is. No, he's going into the pits. That makes more sense. KCTB as well had to re-enter the pits because of fuel problems. Blomcham about to finish his lap, and actually we're going to see where Blomcham's going to go, one of the slow drivers on the grid today. But where can he place himself? Into the top 10 maybe. He is on softs. Only up into 13th, 129.6. Probably got a bit more pace than that. But it's going to be a challenge to improve by 4/10 to get himself into 10th. And that's including the fact that these guys have done their laps on mediums and probably will be doing lap times on softs. Strategic pole position. I'm guessing strategic pole position is 11th. KCTV still in the pits. Don't know what drivers are really waiting for. Those clouds look like rain is inbound. DeRoy on an outlap looking to improve to make sure his lap time is safe. I realize Mr. BT is improved to 128.6, currently in 4th. Merv Martin currently on the risk of elimination is out on softs. Andre currently in the elimination zone is out on softs. Tan, Sonev, two drivers that might make their way into the top 10. Need to be saying laps on softs though. And Sonev's now making his way out onto the track. Tan still in the pits. Head bumpy as well. Barby making his way out on the softs is in 9th. Very much not safe. Dexacinio now also looking to do another lap time on the soft tire compound. JT in the pits. Tsenexta's retired from the session in 6th. Probably thinking he can't improve because it doesn't seem to have crashed. And yeah, P11 is strategic pole. It is a smart place to finish when you know you won't be going very far in Q3. But you are still a few tenths off of that lap time. But still possible to make it. As oh, those are raindrops. Yeah, those are raindrops. And this is what I was saying for drivers to be careful of. They've done their laps on mediums, but they've left it too late to come out on softs. And other softs may struggle and may not manage to go faster than these 129.2 and these slower lap times that the drivers have set. I'm thinking that Bumpier is staying in the pits, and I don't think he's going to be coming out, hoping that the rain. Oh no, never mind. He's just come out right now onto the soft. But again, with the rain, improving is going to be hard. CRG Velo in 5th, possibly safe, possibly not. Under 3 minutes left in the session, and this rain is really going to be shaking things up. The Dexacinio going to be driver to cross the line. Next on the softs. Improves up into 4th, 128.4. Sergi Velo starting to feel like he's at risk of elimination just about now. Andre will be the next to cross the line on soft. He's kept it valid so far, and looks like it will be remaining valid. So let's see how much has the rain impacted Andre's lap. Ooh, I don't think he has improved, but only by 1/10, and that means Andre is still in 11th and still looking like he's going to be eliminated. Merv Martin crosses the line on softs, cannot improve, just barely on the brink. He's on the brink of elimination. All he needs is one guy to go faster than him, although I doubt that will be happening. KCB unable to set the lap time. I don't even know if he's going to bother. He's not going to even bother going out, so he'll be starting in 15th. Blomchum coming out of the pits. He won't have time to do another lap, so he'll be in 14th. Sonev on softs invalidated his lap time. He'll be going for another go round, but the softs do not seem like they are fast enough anymore. And this is exactly what I told drivers to be cautious about. Going out on the softs too late, and Andre, Merv, Het, JT, Gelato, Tan, Sonev, they've all fallen for that. But luckily for them, they've all gone through, apart from Andre and Tan, who I'm sure will be disappointed and pissed off at the fact that they did not go out a minute or so earlier to avoid the rain and be able to improve on their lap time. But Andre at least will be starting in 11th, which means you've got the best starting position possible for a free choice of tyre. And obviously now Q3 will be in the rain. And it's going to really depend on how fast drivers are on the rain, which will really shake things up. And if I were the driver in Q3, I'm going to instantly go out on softs. I won't wait a minute. I'll just go out on softs, hopefully at least, if they're still fast enough. Because the later the session goes in, the wetter the track becomes, the slower you'll be going. Because inters won't be faster than softs. And yeah, unless the track's going to be drying up, I'll be going out in the quick as I can. So yeah, KCDB, Blumchum, Sunev, Tan1212, Andre all getting eliminated in Q2. Andre and Tan especially being unlucky with the fact that they did not go through because they did not get a chance, and Sunev as well, to do lap times on soft. Same goes for Merv, Het and JT and CRG Velo, but luckily they did not have a need to go out on soft as they've all managed to clinch their way to Q3. And Q3 starts, 12 minutes in the session. Lots of rain. I don't know if they're going to be able to go out on softs. If they are, nope, it's inters apparently, so probably softs not fast enough for our drivers, though I'll still check just in case. But if it is inters, then I'll be obviously they'll probably be checking to see if maybe the tracks will be drying up a bit, and maybe they'll be able to go out at a bit of a faster time, whether it will be faster inters or softs. And a few drivers making their way out. I was gonna say DeRoy first one out, but no, Max first one out again. Enjoying the clean air. But yeah, drivers gotta be very careful about spinning out, as Max, in fact, as I was about to speak about it, almost did and almost sealed his fate right there and then. And the France already was a tricky, annoying track for track limits. The rain does not help, and for traction as well. The rain does not help at all. This right-hander kept killing me when I was racing around France in the rain. But Max being able to take it very well, somehow valid. That should have been an invalidation, but yeah, he's managed to keep it in check. But obviously this is just his outlap, and everybody, I'm just clocking, is on an outlap. Even JT Gelato normally waits a moment to make his way into his outlap, but except for Dixosinho, though. Dixosinho in the pits, chilling a bit. JT Gelato, current Drivers' Championship leader. McLaren, current Constructors' Championship leaders. And speaking about Constructors' Championship, McLaren and the Mercedes are the only two teams to have both their drivers inside Q3. Although actually it's two McLarens and the two Williams, as I think it's CRG Velo actually. Yeah, as CRG Velo's points will be going to the Williams, as he is slotted to be racing with the Williams and not the Mercedes. So, in the meantime, Max hasn't validated his lap. Behind Max is De Roy, who, so far, so valid. CRG fellow, Mr. BT. Yeah, everyone's kept it valid so far through the first sector, apart from Max, who definitely will not be ecstatic with that. I'm seeing De Roy go very slowly through Q3 on his hot lap, and I'm not sure what that's for, as he just took out a board. Not really sure what De Roy's doing. Hopefully everything's okay on his end. So CRG Velo will be the first driver to set lap time, and crosses the line with a 140.0, and I have no clue if that's a good lap time or a slow one. We'll just have to wait and see what Mr. BT can pull off. 140.7, 7/10 difference. These guys were closer on pace earlier on. Head bump here as well. 140.5 is CRG Velo. Rain, a strong suit for his driving style, or head bump here, and then Mr. BT just struggling. Oh my god. And JT Gelato comes over a second advantage with a 139.8. Pretty insane stuff from the lad. And I wonder if the rain is helping the controller go around this track. In the meantime, Murph Martin 140.7 as well, just barely behind Mr. BT. So next up 141.3, and De Roy with a 2.07, but obviously we saw him be slowing down and going off track during his previous lap. So definitely more time to gain. Dixasinio, Max, Busman Pickle. Ooh, Busman Pickle's absent validated, but I think, well, he's got DRS for another go. Main question is, does he have does he have enough fuel for another go? Because he seems to have validated pretty early on his lap. Dixasinio starting the session, and I think he spun out into a wall. Yep, he did. And that's the right-hander which always caught me out in the rain. And in fact, it's caught out Dixasinio, and into the wall he's gone. And he will be starting down in 10th, maybe 9th if Busman Pickle also ends up retiring. And that is not the starting position that Dixasinio would have wanted. De Roy about to improve on that 2.07 with a 140.3, puts him up into 5th. Pretty nice lap time from him. Max now improved to a 139.7, and Head Bumpy also improved to a 139.6. And speaking of improvements, there's Murph Martin with a 139.6 as well. However, JT Gelato still reigning supreme with a 138.9, so around 7/10 off Head Bumpy, who's in second. Mr. BT, who had a lot more pace in the dry, currently not a lot of pace in the wet, as he is in 8th with 140.7, and so next up in 7th 140.6. Busman Pickle back into the pits. I think Murph Martin's having another go around, as he's improved by a 10th, almost 2/10 on his lap so far, coming through sector 2. So that would put him nicely into second. However, Head Bumpy will be getting another run, although he can't leave it too long to go out, because it does take time for the animation to go through, and obviously driving around in the rain and added slowness. As now Murph Martin is going to cross the line, and what I'm assuming is going to be his final lap here in Q3. Murph Martin goes into... into second, yes. I was right. He has moved into second, 139.4, but that's still half a second off JT Gelato. Now, Boston Pickle, Mr. BT, CRG Velo, JT Gelato, all on out laps. A lot of invalidations in out laps, but luckily for the drivers, not too many when they're on a hot lap. So Sergio Velo starting off his lap now. Max gonna be following soon. Still needs to make his way around head bumpy as well, right behind the Max. Marv Martin, I think, was trying to have another go. Never mind, I thought he was definitely doing a recovery lap and he invalidated it, which is fine, but he will be having another go. I'll come the end of this lap. JT Gelato invalidated his out lap, but that's fine. His hot lap, as long as that's going to be valid, which it is, he'll be looking to improve on that. And to Roy in the pits, and if he's got enough time to go out, he's got to do it now. And so next on and out lap, Mr. BT, currently on a lap, and he'll be looking to improve. Currently finds himself in 8th with 140.7. Boston Pickle looking to even set the lap time as he spun around. He saved it, but he kept going, but he saved it. However, not ideal for him, as I think the track's dried up quite a lot. And no takers on softs. Although the softs might be fast enough to go around, nobody's taking them and nobody's got the time to take them, so it's just gonna be a rush to, yeah, definitely good for softs with DRS being enabled. So yeah, this could very well be the way things end. Here in Q3, as drivers still going around in the intermediates trying to improve on their lap times, but I don't think the inters are going to be really good for that. They're probably going to be spinning out, overheating pretty quickly. I've just clocked CRG Velo though, 139.1, 2/10 off JT Gelato, and JT Gelato seemingly unable to improve on his lap time, not really trying. Although I think he's gonna try go again. He will make it in time, but just barely, leaving it till the last moment. CRG Velo not having another go, so he will be starting in second unless any other drivers got something to say about that. Marv Martin currently in third, 139.4, a nice improvement to his lap time. Head Bumpy has invalidated his lap, so 139.6 is what he's going to have to stick with. Max now though finds himself a 10th and a bit, almost 2/10 actually, behind Head Bumpy. He'll be looking to improve on his lap time as he comes through now the final few corners. Yeah, Duro was waiting for slicks, but yet you never... Oh, you did go out on them. Oh, and you invalidated. Ooh, that's unfortunate, because that probably would have been the right call, and you probably would have gone into P1, I'm not gonna lie. So that is an unfortunate invalidation. Yeah, tried the slicks and he spun. That's unfortunate. In the meantime, JT Gelato, I'm just clocking, had enough time to go around again. Yeah, DRS is enabled, so that whenever DRS enables, that means softs will definitely be the right call. And in fact, I'm surprised more people aren't spinning out on the inters. Max is able to improve as well on his lap, 139.1. And JT Gelato, I'm going to be very curious to see if he can improve on his lap. Currently in provisional pole, JT Gelato looking to extend on that and to definitely claim pole position. JT Gelato cannot improve, however, he is on pole position. JT Gelato, pole position once more. Second, CRG Velo. Third, Max 33 JV 2005. In fourth, we got Murph Martin. In fifth, Het Pumpier. Sixth place, Mr. BT 2004. We've got The Roy in seventh, who tried to go for slicks but unfortunately spun around and was unable to improve due to that. Tsunexta in eighth and Boston Pickle in ninth, who set a 141.5, but he set that very late, was unable to improve. And Dixisinio in 10th after spinning around due to the rain. And on Dinters on the fast right-hander. And that ends Q3, that ends qualifying, which means we will now be heading to the race, where I wish all the drivers luck. And yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. We've got a lot of pace from these drivers, top 5, top 6. Lots of pace from them. DeRoy as well could make some nice places. Dixisinio known for comebacks here in TRL. Be interesting to see what he can do. Not to mention Andre in 11th, so he'll be on the optimal strategy. Then again though, quite a lot of drivers ahead of him also will be able to start on mediums. Apparently Merv was up by a lot and lost it, but nonetheless he was able to claim P4, which is good enough. Obviously though, coming into tier 1, you got to be a bit careful. Easy to lose front wing, take it, brake in a bit too deep or brake too late and find yourself crashing into people. Would not be surprised if we see an incident, which will be very unfortunate though, especially for the drivers in front. And I would not be surprised if we see at least one safety car. Alright, these drivers are now getting off on the formation lap. We've got clear skies, probably all throughout, which is very nice. So drivers at least won't be having to worry about the rain. Invite again. Sure, I did not see him leave, but I will be sending an extra invite. And I'll be sending another one for good measure. Drivers currently on the formation lap, so don't worry, you aren't missing anything special. Now JT's left the session. I've re-invited him, and hopefully he will be able to join back, because apparently he was having issues with his car. But he'll be wanting to join pretty soon because they're coming through to the end of Sector 3. Tanto of 12 holding up a nice gap between himself and Andre. JT's joined back and hopefully all okay on his end. Would not like to see the main contender for the championship have issues, especially in the start. Predicted pit stop strategy, mediums to hards. That is indeed the optimal strategy. If you're starting on softs to hards could probably still work, or you could do softs, mediums, but softs, hards would probably be more optimal. Although most of the front runners, gonna quickly check that. Take a look at tires. Yeah, most of the front, we got 4 of the front runners on mediums, only Max on soft, so we'll be looking for a good start from him. Alright, timing screen. Having a bit of a... I don't know what his timing screen's doing. And it's lights out and away we go. And Max indeed with a very good start. And he's already side by side with CRG Velo. And he's trying to slot himself in between CRG Velo and JT Gelato. But none of them left him enough room to do so. I see Merv Martin's down 4. Busman Pickles up 4. Good start from Busman Pickle. Even DeRoy's up 4. CRG Velo and JT Gelato side by side. CRG Velo able to get past, and now Max and DeRoy fighting it out. DeRoy trying to take around the outside of CRG Velo, not able to. Instead, he's going to lose a place to Busman Pickle potentially, as Max and JT fighting it out. But Max able to hang on to second. Yes, he is, not by much though, as now Max is going to try to use the slipstream to go around down the inside. Maybe he is going to try to take it down the inside of JT Gelato. Normally he's got DRS, but no DRS obviously in lap 1, and he's going to be able to get past. And JT Gelato is going to lose 2 places maybe. Oh wait, what? I think he's cut the corner. I'm pretty sure. He's found himself back up into second. In fact, he's got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, but he's given the places back, and he's down into 9th, 10th. I'm not sure what JT is doing. I think this is an issue on my end because, well, yeah, that's not how guys drive, and I'm pretty sure that's not how JT normally drives. In the meantime, Tan 12-12, not a good start from him, down 3 places. Merv Martin as well, down 6. Don't know what went wrong for him, but he's got a lot of drivers still ahead of him, so he couldn't make the gains back. And I was clocking. JT Gelato's retired from the session. I don't know what's happened here. Quickly messaging to find out, but in the meantime, we've got a race to focus on. CRG Velo currently in first. Second, we've got Max. Busman Pickle, amazing stuff from him, up into third. So next to Dixacinio battling it out. This is a shit camp to see what was going on. And in the meantime, though, Dixacinio was able to get past next up. But he's still on the tail of Dixacinio. Losing that slipstream to his advantage. Going to take it around the outside of Dixacinio. Question is he going to be able to do it? He's going to be able to do it clean. Dixacinio breaks very late and is able to slot himself and stay ahead of Snegsta. Andre and Merv, the 12 from Mayo, is 9 and 10. Merv Martin with a very bad start. Down in 9th. Yellow flags in sector 1. That was just for JT Gelato, who retired on my end. I messaged him to see if he actually retired on his end, because quite confused about that. In meantime, I think I almost saw some front wing fly. I think DeRoy actually might have some front wing missing. He's dropped down a place. He's about to drop down a place to head bump here. He's going to try to take it down his inside, and he's going to get through. DeRoy, I'm clocking, is on soft, so that's why probably a good start from him. And DeRoy now dropping down a lot of places. That slight miss of slight front wing going off, seemingly impacting him a lot, as he is seemingly losing a lot of downforce and losing all of the places that he's gained so far. It's the next on 7th, still trying to get past. Ooh, with Max and CRG battling it out. Max slotting nicely ahead of CRG Velo. Battle for the lead here. Already 2 seconds out of Busman Pickle, so these two will be seemingly battling it out. But you have to realize Max is on softs. And CRG Velo is on mediums. Merv Martin, Andre 2, Ralph Romeo's battling it out. And Merv Martin ahead of Andre. Merv Martin will be looking to regain the positions he's lost. And DeRoy managing to drive on so far. So apparently JT Gelato had a glitch Not quite sure exactly what it means. I'll be looking into it later on because don't want to stay missing out on that because of the race. Well, obviously because we've got a race going on. In the meantime, De Roy enters the pits. I'm assuming to change his front wing. Max, fastest lap of the race so far. Merv Martin, sorry, Andre. It was Andre and what the hell? Okay, timing standings. I was a bit confused. It was Andre and Mr. BT, or having a very nice battle actually, keeping it side by side for quite a while, and they still are. Very nice battle. A bit of a touch though, and Mr. BT was not able to get past Andre, but he's on soft, so he'll be having another chance to do so. In the meantime, Het Bumpier able to get past Bosman Pickles. Got 2.2 seconds to gain though to get through to CRG Velo, who still finds himself right on the tail of Max. Dixasinho as well up into 5th. What was I talking about? Dixasinho comebacking. Could be seeing more of that. Maybe a cheeky little podium later on in the race. We've got this almost a line of cars right behind each other. Drivers though still pretty close, to be fair. Obviously De Roy with an early pit stop on the hards, so he'll be trying to take them to the end. Then we've got Tan 12-12, Blumchum. Tan seemingly struggling for pace. Not really sure what's going on, as Mr. BT is driving very slowly and his front wing seems to be intact. He seems to be all good. He's lost a couple of places, but now he seems to be getting back on with it. Not quite sure what happened there. Dixasinho, Bosman Pickles side by side. When I say side by side, they were a centimeter apart, and they've managed to keep it clean somehow. And Dixasinho ahead of Bosman Pickle, and which was too close of a battle in my eyes. I don't know how they managed to keep it. No front wing damage as Mr. BT gets a 30-second time penalty, and time penalty is already flying in left, right, and center. Obviously, a bit of an expectation of France for time penalties to be kicking in. Het Bumpier struggling a bit to catch up as CRG Velo and Max have DRS on each other, and he's got no DRS, but Dixasinho now will be looking to catch up to Het Bumpier and maybe aid on his way to catch up to the top two guys. CRG Velo in first, Max in second. Bosman Pickle though, who's seemingly struggling for pace in qualifying, in 5th, able to hang on nicely to Dixasinho ahead of him. Next as well, nicely behind Bosman Pickle, followed by Andre and Merv Martin, who's seemingly not going that fast. Looked like he had more pace in him in qualifying, but now not doing all that great. KSDB, Sonev, the two AlphaTauris in 9th and 10th. Gained a few positions off the start, those two guys as well. Sonev deciding to start on the hards, so he'll be going a hard to soft strategy, sorry. As Bosman and Max both enter the pits, both on softs. CRG Velo though on mediums. And I wonder if they're trying to undercut the rest of the field. Starting on mediums, so they're going to take the mediums to the rest of the distance. And I think even Bosman Pickle, yeah, put on mediums. So yeah, I wonder if Max will be able to undercut CRG Velo like this. Obviously CRG Velo gonna go quite the distance on those mediums, and thinking about it, actually quite interesting that Sonev went on hards. He would have been able to do on mediums to softs most probably. In fact, that's I think what KSTB is gonna do. So not quite sure why Sonev went on the hards, especially since we could easily see at least one safety car here in France. Nonetheless, Andre ahead of Tsenexta, coming down from the DRS straight. Well, the long DRS straight as well, not the start-finish line straight. Het Bumpier in the meantime losing time to CRG Velo, and now CRG obviously having no DRS assistance. Het Bumpier just by himself not able to gain on CRG Velo. Dixasinho as well not really being able to gain on Het Bumpier, although Dixasinho is on soft, so it does make sense as tires will be starting to slow down around about now. Andre and Tsenexta, both of which are very close to the Dixasinho battle for the final podium position. Well, I say that, I'm remembering in Max and Bosman Pickle, obviously both of those guys still in contention. Tsenexta into the pits. And I wonder when Dixasinho will enter the pits. I think all soft runners have almost entered the pits. Ooh, Mr. BT's retired from the session. And I think he's done so in the pits. So I don't think anything major actually happened. I'm quite curious as to why he retired. I mean, I know he wasn't having the best of races, but still. A retirement nonetheless. Ooh, Tsunoda on soft, so I think he's going to be trying a two-strop strategy. Which I'm going to be very curious as to how that fares for him. I don't think it's the optimal, but we'll just have to wait and see. Andre De Xacinio battling it out. Andre managing to stay ahead of De Xacinio, but De Xacinio very much on his tail, managing to make those softs work quite nicely 7 laps in. So next up was from Pickle Max. 3 fast drivers, or at least all have the chance of finishing in the top 6. DeRoy as well, not far off. So yeah, I'm going to be quite interested to see where the bottom 4 will end up placing later on to this race, while more pit stops do come through. And if I take actually a quick look at detail and take a quick look at tires, yeah, De Xacinio, I was about to say, only driver still out there on softs. He's coming in now to swap off those softs. And yeah, DeRoy obviously had to slot on hards because he had to pit early on in the race due to some front wing damage. Ooh, De Xacinio on hards, and I don't think that is the correct call, just like I don't think it was the correct call for Sonev to start on hards either. I think they should have both gone under the mediums, but who am I to judge? Max now on mediums, fastest lap of the race so far, as De Xacinio now comes out of the pit behind Boston Pickle behind Tsunoda, and I'm just clocking DeRoy. Ooh, 22 seconds behind, 17 seconds, 14 seconds. Okay, the game's adjusting itself. There was a bit of an issue. He's still around that 11 seconds behind the rest of the field. I don't think he's spun around, which is nice to see. Head bump PA in the meantime, kind of able to gain around 3/10 onto CRG Velo, but nothing really groundbreaking. KCDB, Sonev both behind the tail of Merv Martin. Merv Martin really not going too fast, around 5 seconds behind his teammate. And Merv Martin, third in the Drivers' Championship, probably was looking to bag more points here today, not looking to have the hottest race of his life here in France. And now I don't know if it's whether the mediums, whether he's got front wing damage, the game's not showing me. But yeah, Merv Martin definitely needing to step up on it. And I've also been surprised Sonev not able to get past KCDB, obviously having DRS on him, and Sonev being the faster driver. And in fact, I think now, as I said it, he's going to challenge KCDB down the inside, but no, he's not going to even go for it. He could have had a cheeky little dive bomb, but stays behind KCDB, who now gets a 3-second time penalty. Head bump here now, able to gain a bit more, maybe slowly, able to make his way towards first place. Tsunoda on softs. I think he's the only driver on a 2-stop strategy. At least I think he's on a 2-stop strategy. That is in 10th, fastest lap of the race so far. Top 8 drivers still needing to stop. I want to take a quick look to gap the leader. So yeah, I don't know how slow pit stops are, but sorry, how long it takes to do a stop, as Sonev actually ahead of KCDB side by side. I'll go back to my point in a bit. And Sonev ahead of KCDB, but KCDB gonna change it down the inside. Cannot have the room for it though. Well, does not have the room for it and stays behind Sonev. Max Blumchum as well fighting it off. Max ahead of Blumchum. Obviously Max fast driver, and I was talking about leader, and actually I want to talk about Max and his gap to the leader with 21 seconds. I don't think the pit stop in France is 21 seconds long, so I don't think once Sergio Velo pits, he's going to be able to be ahead of him, which is not Max will be wanting to get ahead of him, and by some margin as well, because Sergio Velo will be having a fresh set of what I'm assuming to be softs, while Max has already pit and is on his, only set, I'm assuming, of mediums. I did some waffle there. Messed up my words, but it's fine. We move. Blumchum probably on mediums. Yeah, he's not going the fastest. But, oh no, at least he's not going to be finishing last. And apparently also Mr. BT retired because there was some glitch as well between, he had some glitch in JT Giotto as well. Had some glitch and obviously, and yeah, I need to check all that. Post-race, Sonev, I just realized Case2B was able to get to the Sonev again, so Case2B carrying the boots in the family right here of the AlphaTauris, seemingly able to overtake a lot easier than Sonev is, but I'm just clocking Sonev 70% ERS Case2B on 10 as there was touch, and Sonev trying to get past Case2B now. Obviously he's got a lot more ERS, so we'll definitely able to push more than Case2B can. Although this is seemingly so far a decent comeback race for the AlphaTauris. Hopefully none of them crash or retire or spin or on any of that jazz, because they could be in for some nice points here today. Merv Martin now into the pits, first medium guy to pits, and I'm gonna be curious to see if the undercut's gonna work. And looking like it's gonna be medium to hard for Merv Martin. Ooh, and the front wing change, so yeah, I don't know if he damaged his front wing now or if he always had that front wing damage, which I wasn't seeing, which is why he was going so slowly, but decided obviously not to pit earlier on. Now DeRoy, he's gonna get ahead of Merv Martin. Yeah, just barely though. Which means though that DeRoy will have some places to gain once other people pit. Sonev now once again ahead of Case2B. These two trading positions, but keeping it fair. Front wing is seeming intact, which is good. Head bump here now. And 2 seconds off CRG Fellow, slowly gaining, and he'll be wanting to keep it that way. Blumchum as well now, seemingly like gaining on Senexta, whose softs will probably be pretty dead right about now. Well, not right about now, but gaining tire wear, let's put it that way. And CRG Velo now into the pits, and Senexta will be needing to pit at some point as well with that 2-stop strategy. Sonev now, 3-second time penalty. Andre, Head Bumpier, all in the pits. The top 3 have all entered the pits, and this is where things get interesting. I'm going to go on board with Max. I'm going to be curious to see where he comes out in respect to the top 3. He's going to be hoping he comes out well ahead of the rest. And he is ahead of CRG Velo, but not by too much. 2.2 seconds, slotted on fresh hards. So yeah, Max will be looking to take these mediums till the end at least, I'm assuming. Unless he's doing a 2-stop strategy as well. But CRG Velo definitely will be going to the end. Fresh hards will be looking to catch up and get past Max. Head bump here now, getting closer to CRG Velo. I'm realizing Case2B has entered the pits, slotted on those hard compound tires, and Sonev on the hards will probably be waiting to pit quite later on in this race, probably around lap 20 is my guess. And Senexta will be happily using that DRS to stay within Head Bumpier and manage to gain some extra time. Bosman Pickle, the Exasinio both looking to get ahead of Blumchum in 6th. And they're both right on his tail. Blumchum on mediums, the Exasinio, Bosman Pickle. Oh, actually, the Exasinio on hards, Bosman Pickle on mediums. And Blumchum now enters the pits, so no need for any overtakes for the Exasinio and Bosman Pickle. They can just easily get past them there. DeRoy now catching up to Tan 12-12. Merv Martin in behind DeRoy. Obviously having to change his front wing, not ideal for the lad. But luckily for them, they come out ahead of Blumchum, so that's one less overtake they need to make in the recovery race. 10, 12, 12, slightly over a second to KCDB. Bosman Pickle still within a second of the Exorcinio, and he'll be wanting to stay within that gap to be able to use DRS to pull him along. And CRG Velo now almost within a second of Max, and that's going to be exactly what Max is worried about. And yeah, CRG Velo will be getting DRS next time round, and Max will not be happy with that. We could see an overtake for what is the potential lead very, very soon. Bosman Pickle, the Exorcinio, battling it out. Well, I say battling it out, just he's still respectfully right behind the Exorcinio's tail, but not able to make a move or a lunge just yet. Not even a consideration. A bit too far back for that. DeRoy, Tan right, and Merv Martin all right behind KCDB, who's going to be doing his best to keep them at bay and keep them behind him. Obviously KCDB will be looking to take those hards till the end, and well, so will Tan, DeRoy and Merv Martin. It's a battle of the hards, and the question is who will prevail, who will come out on top. Tan, DeRoy, Merv, all faster drivers than KCDB. KCDB that will be looking to use some defensive expertise and hope, but he is a clean racer, so he won't be too aggressive. So I don't think he's going to be having these drivers behind him for long, but he's been having some good race pace, to be fair to him. So he might be able to keep them at bay, but he'll be needing to do so for over 10 laps, which is no joke. We are around about halfway though. As CRG Velo gets past Max for the lead. My bad for not catching on to that. I was focusing more on the battle for 9th place. And Max falling quickly off the pace to CRG Velo. But Het Bumpier now coming in fast on those hards within a second of Max. We'll be looking to get past him. 10, 12, 12. Almost dangerous re-entry. That might actually be reported for a dangerous re-entry. They're 3 wide. All trying to get past KCDB. KCDB managing to keep them at bay. DeRoy and Merv Martin now battling off. 10, 12, losing 2 positions for going wide. DeRoy down the inside of Merv Martin. He could get ahead of him through here, but Merv Martin managing to carry more pace around the outside, ahead of DeRoy, who will be looking to challenge KCDB as quickly as he can. So next now, fulfilling his 2-stop strategy, enters the pits, slots on the mediums. And will KCDB and the rest be able to go ahead of Tsenexta? KCDB not having the best of exits through the final corner, but I don't think Merv actually going to challenge, and he is going to get ahead of KCDB, 4th place, and slots in ahead of him. KCDB not going to challenge down the inside. DeRoy, Tan, all of them ahead of Tsenexta, who's 3 seconds behind Tan, 12, 12. And now Merv Martin needs to gain 14 seconds, almost 14 and a half, to catch up to his teammate in Andre, who is challenging for 6th place against Bosman Pickle. And now Het Bumpier right on the tail of Max. And what can he do about that? He'll be looking to get past Max and and also then try overtake CRG Velo. Max has been able to stay within the DRS distance of CRG Velo so far, and Het Bumpier will be happy with that because he'll be hoping once again get past Max. He'll be still within DRS distance of CRG Velo and be looking to get past him as well. A bit of lock up for Het Bumpier, and this is where he's probably going to get his first proper DRS run down in to try catch up with Max. He's on 20% ERS, but that's more than both CRG Velo and Max. But he is a bit too far back this time around, but he'll be wanting to stay close for the DRS on the longer straight and look to get past there. Andre, Bosman Pickle, Andre taking it down the inside of Bosman. It's a bit of a touch, a bit of a collision. Bosman Pickle almost saved it. Andre, he's done a nice 360 and not losing too much time. Bosman Pickle and Andre, both of them keeping their front wing intact as well, which is nice. So they'll just be having some lost time. Andre with some extra warm tires. And all that's going to really be doing is, well, Merv Martin gained around 4 seconds of that, which I'm sure he will be pleased about. In the meantime, Tan 12-12, DeRoy, DeRoy's spun around, and DeRoy not going to be happy with that, losing places now to Blomcham as well. He's all the way down at the back. Sanev Not pit yet, but CRG Velo just able to get past. And Tsunev right on his tail. Ooh, does not want to rear end the potential winner of this race. Definitely a contender for podium position. Tsunev on the other hand still yet to pit. And first place is definitely not in the air for him. At least not yet. Although a safety car would be very much advantageous for him. And in fact he is entering the pits right about now. And I saw another guy entering the pits, and that's Max. So yeah, more two-stop strategies in here than I thought. Max going for a two-stop strategy. And I'm quite surprised by that. Because the two-stop strategy, I keep saying, I don't think it's optimal. I think the one-stop's the optimal strategy. Well, that's good for Ed Bumpier, not needing to, obviously not needing to get past, I suppose for Pickle as well into the pits. But yeah, obviously now Ed Bumpier not needing to get past Max, just as himself. And well, just yeah, himself and CRG Velo, just CRG Velo between himself and the first place. Hype in the chat for Deroy. Deroy's a good driver, but unfortunately he got front wing damage early on the race and just spun around about last lap. So yeah, he, after doing a decent comeback drive, needing to do another comeback drive, but luckily though here in TRL you get points anywhere you finish. But yeah, he'll be definitely want to try at least maybe challenge for 11th. Maybe 10th. Well, actually, once you reach 11th, sorry, for 11th place, that's where Deroy probably will be trying to aim to finish. So next up, KCDB side by side. So next, trying to get past KCDB, does round the outside before the corner even comes. KCDB going to challenge down the inside. Bit of a look up for Tsunexta. Front wings all intact, and Tsunexta ahead of KCDB. Tanto of 12, a spectator of that battle, will be looking to get past KCDB himself now. Although KCDB though still right on the tail of Tsunexta, might ooh, time penalty for KCDB, trying to take it down the inside of Tsunexta. Tsunexta shutting the door, well not exactly shutting the door, but not leaving KCDB enough room, and he's tried to take it again down the inside, but not an ideal place for an overtake down the inside over there. If you don't have the angle for it, and he did not have the angle for it, and Tsunexta staying ahead of KCDB. Tsunev on mediums in 6th. In a pretty good spot, you know, maybe even for a podium finish if things maybe go a bit awry for Andre, who's up into 4th. I want to take a quick look at position changes. Andre Dixasinio, Tsunev, all up 7 places. Good stuff from him. Tanto of 12 now ahead of KCDB in the start-finish straight. Well, in the start-finish, in the first in corner 1, turn 1. More like that. Ahead Bumpier, if he can get ahead of CRG Velo, will be up 4 and will take the race win, which would be good stuff from him. Max currently down 2, but he has just pit on fresh mediums, so we'll be looking to get ahead of Andre, but he's 8 seconds behind him. So that will be indeed a bit of a challenge. I take a look at tires on hards. These guys will all be trying. Yeah, I don't think we have any more stops inbound. I think the only reason we'll see a stop now is if drivers crash, lose a bit of front wing, or a safety car comes out. Now, KCDB are able to re-get ahead of Tanto of 12. Tanto of 12 not having the best of pace here round France here today, as KCDB was able to regain his position, but already almost falling 2 seconds behind Tsunexta. And Tsunev now, ooh, less, around 2-3 tenths behind Max. We might see an overtake on the start finish straight. And Tan as well, but looking to get past KCDB. And now Tsunev lost a bit of time through the hairpin and through sector 3 in general, as they both get, as Max got fastest lap of the race, and then Tsunev fastest lap of the race. But yeah, Tsunev unable to get past Max, was a bit too far back to consider a move. Had Bumpier within a second of CRG Velo. He is pretty far back though, so he won't be getting past CRG Velo on this occasion. However, Max, sorry, not Max, well, yeah, Tsunev, sorry, but looking to get past Max on this occasion. However, I don't think he's going to be close enough to do so. He's got way more ERS than Max, but he is pretty far back, not even really close enough to be getting a decent slipstream. He's gaining a lot, and he has used quite a bit of his ERS, but just gaining, and will probably try a move next lap. Same goes for Head Bumpier, who's gaining as well on CRG Velo. A lot of pressure mounting on Head Bumpier, really wanting to managed to. Ooh, Tan and KCB, and that was, yeah, but people wanting to get first and stick it. Tan, KCB quite respectable driver, leaving in some space for Tan, but Tan going a bit wide, not able to get past KCB. Obviously, and I say KCB is a respectable driver, though he will squish you a bit if he deems necessary. And now Tan down the inside of KCB. These two having a nice worldie of a battle, but not close enough to be considering a overtake. Obviously a bit hard to overtake through those two rights, but it is possible if you're close enough and have enough momentum, the right angles and all of that fancy jazz. Sanev dropping a bit back, he just barely has DRS, and in fact it's the only thing really keeping him close to max, so not really in consideration of an overtake. And Het Bumpy again this time round. He is a bit closer to CRG Velo, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make an overtake. On board with him, he's gaining, but not enough to get past. They've got very similar ERS though, so, and he is right on his tail, so now it's all-out war for the lead with 7 laps to go. 10, 12, 12, Bosman Pickle, look, all fighting for 9th, behind KCDB. Marv Martin, decent comeback, up into 7th after having to change his front wing earlier on. Finds himself 3 seconds behind Sanev, and will be hoping to gain on those, because maybe he might be able to get into 5th if Marv Martin's, you know, famous or infamous, I don't really know which way it strikes around about now, 5th place. That would be a good comeback for him if he could finish in 5th, but he does not really seem to be gaining to Sanev, just really seemingly in around the same position. Sorry, around the same time. Tan now side by side again with KCB. No, not side by side. Almost though, and Bosman Pickle almost made it side by side with Tan for a bit. And in fact, he's going to try to take it down the inside. He's going to send it down the inside of Tan 12-12. We might see some contact. It's all clean. And Tan lets Bosman Pickle go past him. And now Bosman Pickle will be trying to have a go at KCDB. And Tan 12-12. Nice help. No, that's a nice help of Bosman Pickle, must say. Looking to get past KCDB. He's going to try to take around his outside. No, down the inside, a bit of a switchback. Not able to do a switchback. Max fastest lap of the race. And now with DRS, Bosman Pickle round the outside of KCDB. And KCDB gets past. KCDB slotting in behind Bosman Pickle to get slipstream and avoid another attack from Tan 12-12. As the battle for 9th continues. Het Bumpy, CRG Velo. And now Het Bumpy, after coming off the DRS straight, not able to get past CRG Velo, but he might consider an overtake. Coming into this corner, might send it down the inside. No, he's not. CRG Velo blocking the inside respectfully, and I think as well, Het Bumpy would have not risked an overtake like that, knowing he's got still 6 laps of opportunities left to go. But he's right on his tail for the race lead. Sanev dropping back on Max. Merv Martin not really gaining on Sanev, if anything losing some more time to Max. Tan 12-12 still right on the tail of KCDB, who's losing time to Bosman Pickle. And in fact, I don't think he had DRS, or if he did, that was probably his last time of having DRS. As Tan 12-12 right on KCDB's tail. He might send it cheeky down the inside, down the outside, no, too far back. And he'll be waiting for the next DRS zone to contemplate and think about another, well, not another, trying to get past and overtake KCDB. Het Bumpy, CRG Velo once again right behind each other. Well, I say once again, still right behind each other. And now Het Bumpy still too far back. I thought he was a bit closer off the corner of my eye, but not really. As Tan 12-12, did we see a spinning car? No, we didn't, which is nice to see, no spinning cars. But Tan 12-12 able to get ahead of KCDB. But last time we saw this, KCDB was able to get past Tan in between 1 and 3 laps. So KCDB will looking to get that place back, battle for 10th, as Bosman Pickle has been able to move on ahead and try slowly catch up to Tsunoda, but a hard thing to do. He'll be needing to gain a 2nd lap for that, and I don't think that's going to be really possible. Merv Martin still not gaining to Sanev, who's not gaining to Max, who's not gaining to Andre, and I don't think Andre is gaining to DXSNU. I don't think he is, but if he does, there is opportunity for it. If he can floor it hard enough and get lucky enough, we might see a cheeky overtake for 3rd place. Head Bumpier, Sergi Velo. Oh, side by side. Sergi Velo take the. Ooh, that was almost a risky maneuver there from Sergi Velo. Almost took out Head Bumpier, and Head Bumpier, in fact, I think backed out of it. Because he was almost side by side, and then Sergi Velo kind of let him go side by side by taking it around the outside. Max again, fastest lap of the race. All these fast laps of the race, so he must be gaining to Andre. Must be. And yeah, now Head Bumpy, after giving it so much to the start finish straight, less ERS than Sergi Velo, not by much though, but still behind him. And luckily though, he's got DRS to be able to make up for the lost time. Head Bumpy should save his ERS if I were him. I'll just use my DRS to stay within Sergi Velo. Let my ERS charge up and then send it down this straight they just went past, the longer DRS straight, and just send it and hope for the best. Because we only have, what, 5 laps of racing left, so not a lot of time, but still a chance, so no need for the most riskiest of maneuvers just yet. KCDB has been losing on TAN 12-12, seemingly unable to regain that position. Andre, I think, has caught up a bit to Dixasinho, and I think Max caught up a bit to Andre, but still nothing out of this world, especially the low amounts of ERS we're seeing. Only DeRoy with brilliant ERS conservation, and even still though, he should have been probably deploying a bit more in my opinion. 10.9 seconds behind Blumchum. If he floors it hard enough, he might be able to move up into 12th. Not a lot of battles going on now. Drivers coming towards the end of the race, mostly dispersed, which really leaves only Head Bumpy and Sergi Velo, to be fair to them, have been going at it for a while. And well, I say going at it, Head Bumpy just trying to overtake and not being close enough, but now he is close enough. He's got no ERS left in the tank. Sergi Velo doesn't either. He's going to try to take around the outside. The inside's a more preferable line, but he's managed to stake around the outside, and Head Bumpy for the race lead is up into first, and Sergi Velo is going to be challenging for first now. Obviously on the flat out right, it is possible to challenge for it, but I think he's just backed out of it. Obviously both of them having very low ERS. It's quite hard to, but he's going to send it down the inside, I think. And he is going to send it down the inside. He's going first. Head Bumpy around the outside, but the outside is the more grippy, the faster line, and Head Bumpy is going to stay in the lead. 4 or so laps to go, or I think more 3.5 laps left to go. And Head Bumpy is ahead of Sergi Velo, and Sergi Velo will be looking to get ahead of Head Bumpy. This is Sergi Velo's first race, might I add, and it is a brilliant race for him. And when I say first race, I mean in TRL, but it's been a brilliant race for him. Obviously, Head Bumpy, one of the fastest drivers TRL has seen, and he is a very fast driver. But now Sergi Velo going to send it down the inside, a bit of contact, and Head Bumpy trying to stick it down the inside. Obviously, that was wide, but probably a bit of contact, trying to force Sergi Velo a bit wide and try to get the best racing line he could. But Sergi Velo ahead of Head Bumpy once again, and Head Bumpy must be a bit frustrated after trying to get past Sergi Velo for so many laps. He gets ahead of him for half a lap, and Sergi Velo able to get past him once again. And yeah, the tensions are high. But oh, now Head Bumpy trying to take it again around the outside, and around the outside he goes once again. And oh, a bit of contact, and Sergi Velo almost spinning out. And he is though able to stick it on and keep his car on the track. There was less contact than I thought there was, and I thought there was a bit of a spin out, but there wasn't. And now Sergi Velo in fact going right back on the attack, and he could be sending it down the inside. No, he's not. He saw last time round it didn't work, and he's not trying it again. As well, to be fair, it was a bit too far back to do so. Trading positions, back and forth they go. Head Bumpy, Sergi Velo. We've got 2 laps left to go in like 5 seconds. And this has been a superb race from the two. They must be having the time of their lives out there. But obviously both of them will be wanting to win this race, and both of them will be will be giving it their all. And Sergi Velo is able to get past Head Bumpy once through the start finish. The RS zone was not able to this time around. Penultimate lap here in France. Andre 1.6 seconds behind Dixasinho, a good catch up for him. Max 3 seconds behind Andre. He's been catching up, but not enough, and probably won't be catching up enough to get past. Andre will be needing to catch up those 4 tenths within this lap, so then he can use DRS so he'll be able to use DRS in the final lap. I'm seeing yellow flags, and I think it was DeRoy with the yellow flags. Probably, I think he spun around a bit. I'm not exactly sure. CRG Velo now, where he's going to get DRS. He's in nicely behind Ted Bumpier. We could see him get past on the penultimate lap. Sorry, DRS straight just finished. My bad. And is he going to send it down to the inside? He's got 0% ERS. Ted Bumpier on 6. He's not going to be sending it around the outside or down the inside. Obviously, not really much room for it. So, which means only 1 lap. He's only going to have 1 lap left of opportunities. Andre almost be able to get within DRS range for that final lap of the race. Both I'm just clocking. CRG Velo, Ted Bumpier as well. The only 2 drivers not get any time penalties out on track. That's phenomenal. If any of them get a time penalty, that's going to they're going to be really pissed with that, because that's definitely then they're going to be the nail in the coffin. Andre only was able to gain 2 or 3 tenths, not in DRS range yet. CRG Velo not able to get past down that DRS straight, which means he only has 1 DRS zone left to regain the lead, which means Ted Bumpier only needs to defend really in sector 2. Not really many overtaking opportunities here in the remainder of sector 1, and CRG Velo gets a 3-second time penalty. And what did I just say? 3-second time penalty will nail in the coffin, but I'm sure he will still try to get past for that track position. Ted Bumpier, more ERS than CRG Velo, deploying it as a defense mechanism for the DRS. CRG Velo is getting his too far back, and Ted Bumpier looks like he's going to be able to take the stay in the lead. CRG Velo not able to get ahead. Andre is going to be getting DRS on the Exercinio. He is too far back to getting a move down in this straight, but if he's lucky, maybe he might be able to make a move down in sector 3. I doubt it. He's 7 tenths behind. He's doing the best he can to get close, and he is getting very close, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. CRG Velo not able to even take it down the inside of Ted Bumpier, throwing the car as wide as he can to get the optimal line, but I don't think he's going to be able to get ahead. Andre might send it down the inside of the Exercinio after this fast right. Can he send it down the inside over here? He gets a 3. Oh, the Exercinio 3-second time penalty. Obviously, I'm not factoring in time penalties, but I don't think he's going to be able to get ahead. And Ted Bumpier, with CRG Velo right behind him, having a brilliant race. Andre actually gets out of the Exercinio. Not really sure what happened there. And Ted Bumpier, CRG Velo, brilliant races from the pair, but Ted Bumpier is going to win the French GP with CRG Velo right behind him. The Roy fastest lap of the race on the final lap, and that was a brilliant race from Ted Bumpier. CRG Velo driving as hard as they can, very clean as well. Respect to the lads. And Ted Bumpier up 4 to win the race. Andre up 8 for the final podium spot. Brilliant race from those guys. The top 3, honestly, beautiful race from them all. Max, the Exercinio, Sonev 4th, 5th and 6th, Merv Martin in 7th, Sonexta in 8th, and Busman Pickle about to cross the line in 9th. And Tan 12 in 10th. Will he go ahead of Busman because of time penalties? Yes, he does. Up into 9th goes Tan 12, and then KSDB, Blumchum, the Roy, all still about to finish. KSDB parading around in 11th, enjoying the fact that at least he hasn't DNF'd the race this time around, which is pretty good to see. And hopefully he enjoyed that one. Moved up to 11th. Sorry, not moved up to the state in 11th. According to the game, drive of the day, Andre. For me, it's between Andre and Ted Bumpier. You got to consider Andre went up like 7 places, 4 or 8 for a podium spot. Ted Bumpier went up 4 for the race win. Phenomenal drives from the both of them. Ted Bumpier, CRG Velo battling it out. CRG Velo in his first race in Tyrrell. Beautiful stuff from him as well. And that was a really good race. A shame that Mr. BT and JT had to retire, and I'll be looking on that as to why. As to what happened between those two. The Max with the 2-stop strategy did ruin his race. You could have seen him also in that first place battle. And yeah, that rounds up France, and also there's DNF from JT Gelato. Ted Bumpier and the rest of the field will be very happy with that. Even though to gain on the points, even though it was a bit of an unfair DNF, and I need to see what went wrong with that. Deroy watching Bumpy versus Phantom, still focusing on fastest lap, yet he still got fastest lap. Deroy, class driver. I thank you all for watching. This has been a pretty good race in France, better than I expected. And yeah, Bumpy, well done for getting a pen, as Merv Martin points out. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week for round 10 in Austria, fast track, and an exciting track. And they might have a little something special in store for Austria. I'm not too sure yet though. And yeah, I thank you all for watching. This is that's the wrong outro. Yeah, I just thank you all for watching. Good race here in France. And yeah, Godspeed guys, and well done to all the drivers.